Accu-Stats Video Production presents from the LA Expo Hilton Convention Center in Burbank, California, Accu-Stats 8-Ball Invitational Championships. Along with Tony Anagoni, I'm Bill in Cardona, bringing you third-round action in a very, very exciting and competitive tournament. Not double elimination, round-robin event. Very quickly, Tony, the two players slated to play this match, Efren Reyes and Francisco Bustamante. Efren Reyes' record is 2-1, as Francisco Bustamante record is also 2-1. Neither of these two players can afford to lose this match and win the tournament. Roger Griffiths is in the wings. He has a 3-0 record. He plays this evening against Troy Frank. The other player that's in contention is Mika Eminen at three wins and a loss. So it's amongst the four of those players right there who will go on to win this event. Now, the winning player tonight will be in contention. The loser will be out of the running.
Okay. Well, I would hazard a guess that these guys have probably played before, and I'll bet you they've played before in the Philippines. We watched Efren earlier tonight. He's clearly not playing his game. It's clear that he's not at the top of his skill level. We've seen Bustamante play. Bustamante seems to be playing well. He seems to have made a couple of critical errors in key spots. And, in this format, you just can't afford to do that.
No, you can't. And Bustamante actually had an excellent opportunity to win his third match against Mika Eminen. And it was hill, and he was running out, and he missed a fairly easy shot because he was trying to play accurate position for a combination. He took his eye off the object ball, and it resulted in a miss. Mika Eminen stepped to the table, ran the remaining balls on the table, and actually stole the match away from Bustamante, winning it 8-7, which keeps him, I should say, in contention to win this event. Efren Reyes, like you said, he's really not playing Efren Reyes kind of like pool. He's really not on the top of his game, but you never can tell when he'll wake up. But if he does, he's just almost impossible to beat. But most importantly for Efren Reyes, he has to win this match right here, the one at hand, and it's going to be very difficult because Bustamante has the biggest break in the world, and as we have watched throughout the week, that the player with the big break is very difficult to beat. Now, Bustamante, I think, in my opinion, his break far exceeds any other break in the world today because the balls just seem to be exploding when he breaks them, and he's confronted after the break with a lot of easy opportunities. That's what it's all about.
That's interesting you put it that way because I had dinner with Roger Griffiths last night, and he also pointed out, and Roger naturally is in the top 4 or 5 in breaking in the world, and he said that there's no comparison between Bustamante's break and his break. Bustamante just overpowers the rack.
He certainly does. And look at the man's stature. You wouldn't believe he has that much power. He's only about 5'7", 5'8". He weighs about 145 pounds. Where does he generate all that power from?
I don't know. He's ready for Felix Trinidad at that weight, though.
Oh, he certainly is, but maybe even Sean Dunston.
That's possible. That's possible, yeah. I think that you asked that question. It's clear. Although his mechanics are not standard as, the Americans view them, this guy's fluid. And when he goes through the ball, he goes all the way through the ball. And I think if you really watch his timing, you will see that he never uses any of his power before he strikes the cue ball. His power is in the sweet zone. As he's going through the cue ball, his power is accelerating. That's what brings that big burst.
Okay, it's Efren Reyes' finesse against Francisco Bustamante's power. Let's go down to the floor where Scott Smith is ready to introduce the players for this very exciting match coming up.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, on behalf of Pat Plenning and the staff with Accu-Stats Video Productions, we'd like to welcome you to the Accu-Stats Invitational 8-Ball Championships. In the booth for Accu-Stats for match number 3 and day number 3 is the voice of Accu-Stats, Bill in Cardona, with special guest Tony Anagoni. In the pit, handling the racking duties is Lou Sardo of the Sardo Tight Rack. Yours truly, Scott Smith, will be doing the officiating. Our players for this evening's matchup. Our first gentleman is sponsored on tour by Puyat Sports, player representative for Bear Hughes of Germany, former winner of the Bicycle Club Invitational here in Los Angeles, former winner of the $50,000 winner-take-all Challenge of Champions. He's a former #1 ranked player in the world on the Camel Pro Billiard Series. Ladies and gentlemen, he is the reigning World's Masters champion from the Republic of the Philippines. Please welcome Mr. Francisco Bustamante. Bustamante, thank you. And his opponent is also sponsored by Puyat Sports and also sponsored by San Miguel Beer, former winner of the Bicycle Club Invitational here in Los Angeles, the only non-American to ever win the U.S. Open 9-ball championships, former WPA World 9-Ball Champion, former ESPN Ultimate 9-Ball Challenge Champion, and he's a 3-time World 8-Ball Champion, also from the Republic of the Philippines. A warm welcome, please, for the magician, Mr. Efren Reyes. Thank you.
Let's introduce the players. Just too many titles for me to go through right now. We don't have enough time, but I'm sure if you're watching this on the television, you certainly know who both of these players are: Efren Reyes and Francisco Bustamante. And now it's just a matter of who has it today, who wants it more. Reyes' finesse game against Bustamante's power game. It's going to be a really an exciting match, Tony. And if you have a pick in mind, maybe you can share it with us.
Well, I'm going to tell you.
I
I am going to pick Efren in this match, and let me tell you why. I don't care for the level he's playing at, although, you know, his B game is better than just about anybody else's A game in the world. But I think there's some psychological stuff at work here, okay? Obviously, Efren has been the king of the hill for the majority of Bustamante's career, as far as who's the recognized number one guy, not who won this title or that title, but who's the man when you walk in the room, and that is clearly Efren Reyes.
Are you talking about the intimidation factor when you say that?
Absolutely.
Okay, do you think it's going to break Bustamante's concentration to the point where he was not going to play his best game?
I think that he'll play his best game, but that this match could lend itself to something he's shown in the rest of the tournament, the critical error that cost him the match.
Okay, now don't forget, he's won the lag, and he gets to break the balls in game number one. If it goes to the hill, he gets to break the balls in the hill game. That's worth an awfully lot. Particularly when you're talking about the way he's been breaking the balls.
Well, just look at that break there. You know, the one ball went 2 rails, and then on top of that got combinationed and rocketed in the side. I mean, this is power this guy's got.
Oh, he certainly does. Now he's taking a look at the layout, and once again, every time he's broken the balls, to my recollection, either set, either color, the lows or the highs would be a good selection. And the reason is because he put so much power into the break. The balls just spread so nicely, completely over the table. There are no clusters anywhere. All balls are open, so therefore he's at ease in picking a color. He can pick low, he can pick high. It doesn't matter. Just keep your head down, stay solid over the table, and run out.
Well, you know, something you've talked about throughout the event is balls in the center of the table. You need to deal with those early. They're trouble. You can see this rack, the way he's broke the balls. The only ball really in the center of the table is the 8-ball.
You know, this is a very easy run out. He's going to play the 5, 7, 3, 2, 6, 8. I mean, it's like stop, 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 travel 2 feet, stop 8.
Well, something we've seen come into play a little bit with the diamond table, and of course, you know, we're fortunate to have the diamond smart table here for this event. It does have the pro cut, very difficult pockets. We've seen player after player avoid what normally would not be considered super tough angles to the side pocket. They've elected many times to shoot the balls in the corner. It's clearly because of the cut of the rails and the size of the pockets. And so if you're looking for something that could cause an obstacle or an unforced error, certainly the table might present that.
Okay, well, he's fallen a little bit short of the mark. Workable, but not really where he wanted to be. He's going to have to apply a lot of right-hand English on the cue ball in hopes to gain the position that the cue ball is in right now. See where the cue ball is now?
Yeah.
That's where he wants to be when he shoots the key ball at the 6.
What I don't understand is why not shoot the 6 now and change your key ball and get up and use the 2?
Well, the 6 is a much better key ball. It's on the side of the table where the 8 is. See, the 8 does not go in the lower left-hand corner pocket. It only goes in the lower right-hand corner pocket. And the 6 ball is just a much better key ball. If he's got a straight-in shot on the 6, then this is just a gimme proposition, if you will. Stop, playing position for the 8 in the corner.
There he is.
And once again, Bustamante runs out from his powerful break. And that's power right there, pal. That's what creates things for him. His power. It opens up the balls nicely, and he definitely has the skills to take care of business after he breaks the balls.
Bustamante wins game number 1. He leads the match 1-0. Mr. Reyes will be breaking in game number 2.
Now, Reyes really can't afford to falter on his break. He doesn't have nearly the power that Bustamante has, but he hits him decently. He hits him fairly well. You know, he may not be considered one of the upper echelon breakers in the world, but he hits them very good. But is very good enough to beat the best breaker in the world? I don't know. And like you said, he's been playing subpar this week. You know, he hasn't really been playing Efren-like pool. And I think he's going to have to play like Efren-like pool to defeat Bustamante because he just has so much power. He just, you know, he gets just so many opportunities after his break. And 8-ball, just like 9-ball, is a game of opportunities. 8-ball even more so because the more opportunities you get playing 8-ball, the easier it is for you to win games because it's easier to run out playing 8-ball than it is playing 9-ball.
Well, he got lucky there. The cue ball, he lost the cue ball. It was going across the table, looked like it was ready to dunk, and got kicked up. And now he's got a very open table.
Yes, he does. The only really problem ball for the high balls is the 10 ball near the left-hand side pocket. Now the 7 ball is a problem ball for the low balls, positioned adjacent to the 10 on the other side of the side pocket. So he's got a decision to make. Do I take high balls or low balls? I like high balls because he's got a few good lead balls to the 10 ball to get the 10 ball, whereas the 7 ball they don't have any good. It doesn't have any good lead balls to get the 7.
Okay.
That's why high balls is the better choice here. The 12 ball is positioned very nicely, and also the 15 to lead to the 10 ball. He's played himself out of line, and he cannot afford to shoot the 12 now. He's going to shoot the 14 and try to recover.
I think we'll keep our eye on Efren again this match. As we pointed out in his last match, he brings his own piece of blue chalk, which you advised us that the reason he uses that chalk is because it is blue. He prefers the blue over the green, which we've been provided with for this event. In addition, from time to time, he will change his cue stick in the middle of a rack. You pointed out that he did have a new tip on one cue or the other, and that's what was facilitating that. So we'll see what happens. We'll keep an eye on that.
Okay, he's playing for the 15 ball here. See where the cue ball's finally ending up?
Yes.
Now, all he needs to do is stop his ball exactly where the 15 is, and he'll be in perfect line for the 10. That's the problem ball.
He's got to watch his hand foul here. You know, he did foul earlier in a match with a shirt foul. So he's very conscious of that. You see that when he set up, he was very cautious around the 6 ball.
Now, he can play this a number of different ways. From the angle that he's left himself on the 10, Tony, he can go cross table and play position for the ball that's positioned underneath him now. No, he didn't opt to do that. He's going to play position for the 12. Looks like he may go 12, 9, 14. I kind of like saving the 9, but of course it's in a kind of an awkward position. Maybe he's better off playing 12, 9, 14 if the right-hand corner is available for the 8.
Well, he's cueing the ball low. It appears very apparent that he's going to play on the 9.
He doesn't want to get straight on the 9. He wants a slight angle favoring either. Okay, that's a nice angle. I mean, I think he can draw, but I think he's going to go forward on this shot. 2 cushions.
Well, he's cueing low. He apparently thinks he can change the angle. And look at this. He draws into the open zone and takes advantage of a larger margin for error on that shot by going that direction.
Yep. Yeah. Game number 2 goes to Reyes. He ties up the match, running out as Bustamante did in game number 1. After game number 2, the score is tied up at 1
after 2 games, the score is Mr. Bustamante 1, Mr. Reyes 1. Mr. Bustamante breaks in game number 3.
Well, they're batting 1,000 on running out after the break.
Yeah, so far. And you're going to see a lot of that in this particular match, particularly with Bustamante breaking the balls, because he's going to have a lot of good opportunities. And the opportunities, why I say a lot of good opportunities, because he's going to be looking at layouts where there are not as many balls on the table.
Okay.
Because of his power, which simplifies runouts. Something that Reyes maybe isn't going to have the advantage of looking at.
Well, you know, something that facilitates the break and it adds to the fact that he's got that power is that we're using the Sardo rack. You know, the Sardo rack has set the standard for racks that are manufactured today. We also have loose Sardo here to rack the balls. You know, something you pointed out, it's very deceiving. That rack is very lightweight. It only weighs 2.5 pounds. It's made of a carbonate, plastic, and aluminum, and it's injected molded for fast and accurate construction.
Mm-hmm. Okay, very, very quickly, he pocketed a ball on the break. He would like possibly to take the low balls. They may be a position a little bit better than the high balls, considering the 10 and the 15 are kind of like tied up, and the 5 ball blocks the pocket for the 11 in the lower left-hand corner. But he can't afford to take the low balls because he doesn't have a legitimate shot on the low ball. His first shot should be the 13. And if I were he, possibly, I would go into the 10 and 15 with some speed here, just to scramble those balls a little bit.
Clear the rail, basically.
Right. Now, see, he's going to have to open up that rail, shoot the 11 at a later time in this rack up to the other corner.
Uh-huh.
Because there is no pocket for the 11 other than a cross side bank on the 11.
I gotcha.
And there aren't any balls around the 11 to alleviate him of that problem. So he should go into the 10 and the 15 now with a little bit of speed right here. Oh, he opted not to do that. See, the first shot of a fresh rack, it's really not playing haphazard because you're going to have a lot of options out there. And you're going into a group of balls where you got a lot of your color there.
Okay.
So therefore, the likelihood of not coming up with a shot is very unlikely.
Okay. There's not a good likelihood.
That's why I like scrambling them a little bit, and creating a better position for myself later on in the rack for the 11.
Yeah, I think he could have cleared him, but, he's got a strategy in mind here.
But he doesn't have many opportunities, to succeed. He's only got one lone ball, the 14, down this end of the table to deal with the 11. He may not be able to end on that right angle that he wants to do it.
I got it. Yeah.
That's why he want to reposition possibly maybe another stripe down here, which would have actually increased his chances of dealing successfully with the 11. And plus, with the way the balls are laying right now, he really can't do much with the cue ball.
Okay.
They're grouped up, and he really can't do much with the cue ball. He wants to be creative.
Well, he's going to cut the 10. And when he does that, he may knock the 15 right off the rail. No, couldn't hit it.
See, you want to open the balls up a little bit so you can have more options.
Yeah, he's stiffed himself here. The only shot that I can see that's legitimate is the 14 at this point.
And he doesn't really want to shoot the 14. That's his get out of jail card for the 11.
Okay.
So now he's forced to shoot the 14, a ball he didn't want to shoot, but he has no choice unless he plays a safety.
Well, how about playing a safety and trying to improve the position of balls by banking the 14 up the rail into the 15 and trying to stick the cue ball on the 3 ball?
Well, that's an option, but I don't think it's a very, very viable option. He's better off going ahead and trying to run out from this position, cutting the 14 in. You really don't want to let the magician at the table. If you let Efren at the table, you want it to be off of one of your misses. You don't want to be off of a safe play. You have no chance of winning.
I gotcha, yeah.
Reyes steps to the table. Now his position is much better than it was before Bustamante stepped to the table. He really don't have very many problem balls. If he has any, the 5 ball goes, the 7 goes, the 3 goes, the 6 goes. It's the 4. He'll probably play position for the 4 ball next, or possibly the 7.
Yeah, if he has any trouble, it's the 7.
He's played for the 4. He's going to shoot the 4 next. Efren Reyes, regarded by most of his peers as being the best all-around player in the world today.
Do you believe he's going to try and run into the 9 here, or is he going to move around the balls?
Oh, he hit the 7. Well, what a mistake that was. That was really a big mistake because not only did he run into the 7 and push it out of line where he can't make it, there aren't any low balls in that area for him to deal with.
Okay.
There are only high balls down there, which now makes Bustamante a real big favorite to win this game.
Yeah, in addition, where the 9 is laying, it prevents him from banking the 7 ball, getting in some kind of position where he come with a bank to escape.
So he's really created a big, major problem for himself when he ran into the 7.
Mm-hmm.
7 does not have any pocket other than a bank. If it does have a bank, I believe he may have a bank cross-side on the 7 if he's able to position the cue ball perfectly for that type of a shot.
Well, Scott Smith is looking at it, and he's telling us it doesn't look like a bank is open today. Well, he's going to have to earn his title, the magician, on this out. Well, the only position that's saving him a little bit here is those balls are blocking Bustamante's shots.
Okay, he intentionally missed that ball. See what he did? Now, he's a very intelligent player. He did something that very rarely we see any of the players in this tournament do. He repositioned a ball of his color on the side of the table where his problem ball was.
Exactly.
Or is. And the reason he did that is because he needs an ally down there to deal with the problem. Because you just can't step to the table and deal with the problem if you don't have a solution for it.
Sure.
Repositioning one of his color down there gives him a possible solution to deal with his problem in the 7 ball later on.
Well expressed, William. Well expressed. You have a nod of approval of one of our spectators.
Bustamante now repositioning the 14, okay, and behind the 5. Okay, I don't know if that was wise for him to do that.
Well, he's looking to prevent, an easy attack by Efren, and I can tell you, the innings are going to be mounting in this game because this is going to start taking on the look of a one-pocket game.
Okay, Efren is looking at the 7 maybe to give himself some relief by hitting the 7. That's a mistake because notice the 5 and the 14. The 14 is aiming pretty much so into the pocket, and the 11 ball is on top of the 5, which seems like it could be a triple combination, which favors Bustamante.
Well, that might have been Bustamante's strategy there.
So Efren can't afford to pocket a ball here because every ball of his color that's left on the table gives him a better chance of winning this particular game. What he has to have in mind is positioning balls to relieve, problem areas.
Okay.
To
I gotcha.
To alleviate the problem. He cannot try to make a ball here. He would like to position the 3 on the other side of the table, like cross bank it over there. And the reason I said that is because if he positions a ball on the other side of the table, that's a ball that he can break loose the 5 from the 14 with.
Okay.
So he's got multiple problems on the table, so he has to have an antidote for each one of them.
This rack is going to take some very deliberate play to get to the bottom of.
This is the kind of 8 ball a lot of people are really interested in watching. It's a cerebral game. There's a lot of moves. It's like a chess game, if you will. And I'm sure that this type of a game thoroughly entertains you.
Oh, yeah. Now, let me ask you, why do you think he moved the 11 out there?
Well, he moved the 11 out there maybe to give himself more of an option with the cue ball, but perhaps that was the wrong thing to do because of the position of the 5 and the 14.
Okay.
But keep in mind, the 11 still is a possible ball to shoot into the 5 and 14. It doesn't have to be on the rail.
Okay.
But more in the center of the table gives him more options with the 11. Now he has more pockets to shoot the 11 in, which in turn gives him more creativity with the cue ball.
Well, the way the balls are laying now, if I'm Efren here, I'm going to shoot at the 5 into the 14, make the 14, and put the cue ball behind the 8 and the 3. And that eliminates one obstacle. He just wasn't ready to do it for him. He must not like the angle. He looked at it. But do you see what I was getting at? In other words, bump the 14 in, put the cue ball behind the balls, eliminate one obstacle. Now you got shots down the rail. This speed. Nice touch.
He didn't improve his position with that. Now the 14 will not go. Before he shot, possibly it could have gone.
Well, the fact that it doesn't go, I don't think hurts him in the sense that if it goes, then Efren can shoot it in and play safe.
If he has a good opportunity to shoot it in without giving up a shot.
Exactly.
But if it goes, it favors Bustamante because he has more balls on the table, which gives him more opportunity, more options.
Okay.
See, matter of fact, it wouldn't have really been a bad idea for Bustamante just to pocket the 3, giving Efren ball in hand. What's Efren going to do with ball in hand? Is he going to shoot the 6 and alleviate what problem?
Yeah, there's not much he can do.
In other words, give Efren the 3. Just shoot it in and give him ball in hand. What's he going to do? Keep that in mind.
Okay, I'm looking at it.
See, now Efren's trying to reposition the ball to where he can do something with the 5-10.
Sure.
But he can't do something with both balls. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay? So it really wouldn't be a bad idea for Bustamante to position the high ball where the 3 is, and the next time he comes to the table, make the 3 off of his high ball.
I like that strategy a lot.
Yeah. Now if he does that, he's almost assured of winning this game. You know, bank the 9 down there now. Give Efren a shot on the 6. Big deal. What's he going to do with the 7? You know? Cross the 11 over there. It doesn't matter. Give him a shot on the 6. What's he going to do with the 7? What's he going to do with the 5? You know, he's got too many problems. Only one workable ball. The 6 ball to deal with him. Oh, he's surely not going to shoot the 15 here.
No, he's shooting the 12. I like that shot.
Okay.
Oh, he didn't quite get there.
No, but see, Efren really can't afford to pocket anything. You know, and the only ball he can see is the 6. Now, if Bustamante, when he comes back to the table, if he can pocket the 3 ball, especially off of one of his color,
okay,
I mean, he'd be foolish not to do it, because now he's eliminating a ball on the table that's really an ally for Efren.
there you go.
You know, take it off that table, you know, and that'll actually weaken his strength.
Okay,
And that's what he has to do.
he's got to weaken his
See, the 3 ball is Efren's strength. Take it off the table. See, Efren really is faced with a dilemma. He's got 2 balls that are tied up, and he really can't afford to allow Bustamante at the table to pocket the 3. He's trying to defend against that and other things as well. Bustamante has balls around the 7 and the 15 to alleviate that problem. He's got the 14 in front of the pocket with the 5 behind it, which he can shoot one of his balls into that grouping. So therefore, you know, there's a lot of good things he can do.
Well, Efren is continuing to move the balls around the table and try and improve position, as you're pointing out. And he's it's almost as if he's trying to get the balls in a spot. There's really nothing he can do to flip the game in his favor initially. But, you know, don't discount the fact that Bustamante could also make an error here that allows an opening for Efren.
Now the 7 ball banks cross corner for Reyes. So that's a possible out. So if Efren can negotiate the problem with the 5-14, okay, then he has a chance of winning this game by banking the 7 cross corner. He doesn't want to move the 6 because it's in an ideal position to deal with the 5-14, the cluster. So therefore, you know, that's his get out of jail card for that particular problem. It looks like what he's going to do is he's going to push the 7 a little closer to the 15, very softly. Well, he's backing the 7.
He's taking it around. Look at this shot. Now he's putting. Look at the cue ball. Boy, oh boy, that was almost a phenomenal shot. He freezes him on the 6. Talk about turning the game around. Okay, now what he's done now is he actually given himself a chance to win. And notice what a shrewd move that actually was. Sure.
Bustamante's almost forced to run out from this position because he can ill afford to give Efren Reyes a shot. Simply because Efren has the 6 ball position to alleviate the problem with the 5. He has the 3 hanging, he has the 7 in position to run out.
That's correct.
He only has one problem, and Bustamante, you know, really was a big favorite, but really didn't know how to play the balls.
Didn't know how to maneuver.
No, he didn't.
Take that little shot. You know, it's almost like he's trying to get in position. You know, if he can get straight on the 15 with his powerful stroke, he might be able to draw the ball into the 5 and the 14.
He can do it now off the 9. Okay, he has to do it now off the 9.
Well, the only thing is, if he does it now off the 9, now he's at that end of the table. He's at this end of the table, and he's got to, you know, if he can't make the 14 for some reason, then he's got to shoot the 15. He's got to go back up table.
He should draw into the 5 off of the 9 if he has the ability to do that.
I think he's going to play it the other way. I like this shot better.
But it looks like he's fallen a little bit out of line. I don't know if he can do it because he's frozen on the rail, and the 15 is off the cushion. that's a beautiful angle we have there.
Well, I think that he's going to be able to turn the ball, and the advantage he's going to have from this angle to hit the outside of the 5 and fall perfectly for the 14 if he strikes it. Look at this, came out, there's a 14, he hit the outside of the 5, but he couldn't pocket the ball.
That's why I say he didn't have the angle to do it.
Is that important, pocketing the ball?
Oh, absolutely. He had to cheat the pocket, sacrifice the accuracy in order to get the cue ball where he wanted to end up. But he didn't have the angle, to execute the shot the way he wanted to.
Gotcha.
But look, the 14 is now hanging.
And doesn't look like the 5 will go by it. Well, I see a shot here. Let's just take a look at our telestrator.
You know what I think he's going to do? I think he's going to end up shooting the 7 here.
Well, yeah, I think 3-7. So you go up the end rail on the 7. Where's our telestrator? Let me have your little deal there. Thank you, sir. Oh, good shot. Yeah, he shot too quickly. That did it. Nothing else to say. I don't have to embarrass myself.
What did he do there?
He drew the ball. He drew the ball into the 6 and knocked the 6 into the 14 and opened the table. Didn't appear he had the angle to do it.
Let's go back to that shot when we have an opportunity to, please. I was passing the telestrator pen over to Tony, and all of a sudden he's running out.
The baton. He passed the baton.
And this is mine. You have yours. Okay, you lost the last time you were here.
Oh, look.
And I'm not giving you this one.
What's that?
Okay, I'm not going to give you.
What is that? You see that, sir? You see that? Uh-oh. He's there.
Yeah, but I don't really like the angle that he's left himself.
William, you don't like any angle. This is absolutely
really
dead
don't.
nut perfect.
It is not.
Yeah. He's going to come off the edge of the 15, or he's going to go around it. Watch. Perfect. Give the guy some credit, will you?
Okay, well, you had to put a lot of inside English to avoid contact with the 15. Sometimes that's not easy. Game number 3 goes to Reyes in a very, very, well planned out game.
Well, I think if I look at
Reyes
2-1 Reyes.
Game number 3 after 3 games. The score is Mr. Bustamante 2, Mr. Reyes.
Mr. Bustamante 1, Mr. Reyes 2. You have it backwards.
He said Mr. Reyes 2, Mr. Bustamante 1.
Okay, Mr.
No,
Reyes
he said
will be
Mr.
breaking in game
Bustamante
number
2.
4.
I know what he said. Didn't he say Bustamante 2? He reversed the score.
Well, Billy, let's take a look at the replay. We won't focus on the score. We know we can always rewind the tape and get that score.
Watch. I was trying to give you the telestrator pen, and all of a sudden I looked up. He was running out.
Did he go rail first?
No. He.
No, look, he goes rail first off this ball. Watch. I believe that's the shot. See? Well, no, he caught it real high outside.
That shot had to be hit perfectly for him to be able to do that, And to think he could do something like that is really, you're being an optimist, I would think,
No, I'm looking at the best player in the world who handles the cue ball better than anyone.
Reyes 2, Mr. Bustamante 1.
Oh, you're going to jump on the bandwagon now, huh? Excuse me.
I never said he wasn't the best player in the world. I didn't say that.
Tony.
William?
Let's get back to the match.
Yes, William. Well, how about his break?
Okay, take a look at the 8 ball. There are 3 large balls and 1 small ball surrounding the 8, okay? That's a pretty good indication that from the offset that the large balls are the better of the group.
Well, William, I'm looking at some of the key comments that you've made over the week here, the course of the event, and I'd have to look to good management as the winning factor in Efren's game last game.
Oh, absolutely. Good management. How about intelligent play? That's something different.
Well, I'm looking at games won by thinking. That was another key comment you made.
Okay.
You really know what you're talking about.
Well, it's obvious that you win games by good management and thinking and intelligent play and running out, breaking the balls. You really can't coax balls into the pocket.
You can't coax them in? Okay.
Something that Scott Smith tries to do. You can't coax them in.
You can't coax them in?
Please go in. No, that doesn't work.
You can't plead with them?
No.
Just remember, Billy, if you miss, you lose.
If you miss, you lose. If you miss, you lose. We've been advised by the tournament director, Mr. Smith, the esteemed Mr. Smith.
Just think if you could coax balls into the pocket, there'd be a lot of champions out there.
Richard Cook, Mr. Bucktooth would be the greatest player in the world. Never miss a ball.
Wow, what a shot! That's not an easy shot, even though it made it appear like it was.
Well, you know what I'm noticing tonight is that he's a lot more focused. You know, he just has an intensity that he hasn't had in the other matches. I haven't seen it in the other matches.
Isn't that beautiful to watch him play? How he just picks off balls like a straight pool. He doesn't have to go into balls to break them up. He just picks them off, you know. But he's falling a little short of the mark here. He wanted to get a little flatter on the 14. Too much of an angle. He wanted the angle on the 14 where he could control the cue ball for position on the 9 in the lower left-hand corner. And then all he would have to do then is drift up an inch or two, play the 10 in the right-hand corner, and then play the 8. And now he's got a little bit of a problem here, Tony. I think he's better off going toward the 5 here. Pocketing the 14 and go toward the 5. If he hits the 5, he's got the 9. If he misses the 5, he's got the 10.
So what we're saying is he's going to cue balls here. He's going to cut this in and come down here possibly and bump into these balls.
Yeah, I like for him to go this way, favoring the 5 side of the cluster.
Okay.
Okay? Because the 10's here, and it does go. That's his insurance ball.
Well, yes, he may have a dead kiss shot.
It's a kiss shot. If it's dead, he'll know it.
Oh, boy. Look at this. And he got the 6. He navigated the 6 around those balls.
I wouldn't go as far as say that, okay?
He navigated. Well, I was looking at your sport coat, and a nautical term came to mind.
You're a funny man.
Thank you, William. That's why I'm here.
What do you mean funny? Funny like a clown?
I thought maybe you meant funny like odd. I thought odd was what you meant.
Very close.
Yeah. Oh, boy, you missed your calling.
Game number 4. Bustamante only has 1. Efren Reyes with the pocketing of the 8 will have 3.
And here goes the raccoon. I mean the 8. It's in.
Mr. Reyes wins game number 4. After 4 games, the score is Mr. Reyes 3, Mr. Bustamante 1. Mr. Bustamante will break in game number 5.
Well, that's 3 out of 4 games. The player that had the shot after the break ran out.
If you remember the picture of the Wise guys,
yes,
with Pesky,
yes,
and Ray Lada.
You're talking about Goodfellas.
Goodfellas. I'm sorry, Goodfellas.
That's correct.
I'm sorry. Thank you very much.
Yeah, is that those your heroes?
Yeah. Well, kind of like that. You know?
Yeah.
Anyway, well, you can relate to this. Ray Lada said to Pesky, "You're funny. You're a funny guy." And Pesky took offense to it. He says, "Funny?" He says, "Well, what do you mean funny? Funny? I would be funny like a clown?"
That's what he said. That's right. That's right.
Whoa, what's happening to these balls? Are they still intact?
They're still in one piece after he hit them, yeah.
My goodness.
Do you think that good players like Bustamante, now you may see this more...
Great players like Bustamante.
Great players like Bustamante. Do you think that, now you see this, it's apparent in 9 ball, they play position on the 1 ball when they break. You know, this is more of a game where you've got to be out in a general area. And, you know, they're attempting to strike the cue ball in a manner. And have you seen, we've seen Efren, he's hitting the ball very dead and very flat. And he seems to land...
basically in the same area.
Basically in the same area all the time. Okay.
I don't think Bustamante has that mindset. No.
Yeah.
I just think he says, before he breaks, I want to kill these balls. Okay, I want to just pulverize them.
Well, you know what comes to mind?
Punish them.
His power is reminiscent of the famous martial artist Bruce Lee. Small guy with tremendous power. Did it with speed. You know, speed is power, and he gets a lot of speed through the cue ball.
Okay, the 9 ball will not go in the lower right-hand corner, but he has a good lead ball to the 9 ball in the 15. But he has to deal with the 10. Okay, now he's in good line. Here's the way the pattern should go. At least I think so. He should shoot the 10 ball in the corner, playing position for the 12 ball. 12 ball here, keeping an angle on the 15 ball, cutting it in, going cross table for position for the 9.
Okay.
Now, if he has a slight angle where he's cutting the ball to his left, he may lose. And see, that's okay too.
That's
okay
perfect.
too.
He's just going to go up top and use the 15 for T-ball. The 8 ball's in a position where it's open from many, many angles.
I was guilty of tunnel vision there.
Well, William, I'm glad you said that. It's a big man who can criticize himself, even to a minor thing like that.
Was I glad he said that?
Why, did
You think that's funny, William?
Did you think
William, do you think I'm funny?
Did you think that I didn't think I had tunnel vision?
No, I didn't. I don't know what you think, William. I'm not trying to outguess you or outsmart you.
If you don't know what I think by now, you're not with me.
I'm trying to block some of it out, to be frank. But keeps me up at night wondering what you're thinking.
All right, game number 5 goes to Bustamante, who trails only by 1 game in the match.
Bustamante wins game
3
number
games
5.
to 2.
After 5 games, the score is Mr. Reyes 3, Mr. Bustamante 2. Mr. Reyes breaks in game number 6.
Well, I see, Lou Sardo out there racking the balls very dutifully in his formal tuxedo. I also see a cell phone on the right there. I wonder if he's on call to rack anywhere else besides her tonight.
You did make mention about the Sardo tight rack and also the wonderful cloth Simonis surface that they're playing on. Is that right? Is that correct?
That's correct. And what's great about Simonis is they've only make one product. They've made it since 1680. Billiard fabric. If you want to know where a dealer is, you can simply call 1-800-Simonis. And I am going to call that number because I am going to commission them to make you a suit out of Simonis. And if they don't go for it, I'm going to be very upset.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. And I'll wear it the next time Accu-Stats goes to an event.
Terrific.
Okay? And I'll say, what do you mean they only make cloth for pool tables?
So I'm going to put a couple of spots on your forehead if you wear that suit. And then if you get out of line, Smith can throw balls at you.
I just
trying to get you on the spot.
I just want you to jump balls off my forehead. No jumping allowed.
No jumping? Well, you could be like, you may be as hard as the diamond table.
the diamond
epoxy resin finish.
The epoxy resin finish. No other table has the epoxy resin finish and the 142-degree angle cut.
I've got the official word from our man on the floor, Scott Smith. He says, you are right there on the hardness scale with the diamond table, the diamond wood, epoxy birch. You're our man, William.
He said that in self-defense.
Oh, I don't think he feels the need to defend himself.
Huh,
he can fight it in me.
You obviously don't know him well.
He confided in me that he was going to rescind his challenge to play you because he felt
he came to his senses.
No, he felt your skills have eroded with your age and all, and he just didn't want to take advantage of it. It wasn't the gentlemanly thing to do.
Can you imagine, all you people out there that are watching this tape, can you imagine that Scott Smith, the master of ceremonies, challenged me to bar table 8-ball? I mean, what a bluff that was.
Well, I got to tell you, that reminds me of a funny story that I'm not going to bore everybody with on this tape, but it does involve our producer, Pat Fleming, when he was managing a tournament in Reno, and some player challenged him to play out of the booth, and the player got quite a surprise.
What, Pat took him up?
Pat took him up.
Well, Pat took him up. I'd like to bet like everything I own, Pat won.
Let's just say the guy had a long walk back to his hotel room after he dealt with Pat that night.
Okay, here we go. Back to the match. Efren Reyes at the table, leading in the match 3 games to 2, and it looks like the balls are positioned good enough for him to extend the lead. 13 will probably be his next ball. Giving himself a nice angle.
Yeah, look at that. He's got a little squeeze in there, but he negotiates these things. This guy has such control of the cue ball when he turns the ball. He manipulates the weight of the object ball and the weight of the cue ball so perfectly, especially on the Simonis surface.
Okay, now this is a very interesting situation, okay? I don't know if he has the angle to go cross table and then back again for position on the 14, but I do think that he can pocket the 13 and drift into the 14.
Okay. Look at this.
Oh, he went behind the 14. And, before he shot the shot, he probably had this in mind. I'll hit it with a very soft speed. Maybe I can hold the cue ball, in time and stop it in time to shoot the 14. But if I can't, I'll have to shoot the 11 of the other corner.
He's going to shoot the 11 up the other corner. You think I think that maybe a better option might have been to bump the 14. I noticed what happened on that cut shot was he overcut the ball.
Yeah, he's just too tricky.
Well, you know what?
He's just too tricky. We should bar him from some of these events.
Well, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of when you're a kid and the one kid that could play marbles better than everybody else. He just bumps the balls off this one, that one, boom, boom, boom. The next thing you know, you're a kid left with no marbles. There goes Efren down the road.
I don't know how many people can relate to that, but how about playing the pinball machine?
I can't relate to that. They didn't have electricity in the part of Italy I grew up in. Hey, there it is.
The way he thinks, Okay, he thinks
Reyes wins game number 6 after 6 games.
Like a chess player.
Reyes 4.
That's
the
way
he's a very good chess player.
Mr. Bustamante
That's where I was getting at. He thinks like a chess player. And all those little intricacies out there that he sees that most players don't. Okay,
yes.
Like playing the ball 11 off the 7, holding the cue ball, realizing that shot was easier than
the
11.
Can I another Reno story?
Absolutely, Mr.
Pat
Smith.
Fleming,
Mr. Smith, you have the floor.
Did you hear about the time when he threw his cue and they nicknamed him the Spear?
No, I didn't hear about that, but that would be of some interest. We don't happen to have that on video.
But neither can our viewers. They can't. They don't know what we're talking about. Okay?
That's correct.
So let's get back to the match.
Okay, we're watching here. See if they know what Bustamante's talking about when he whacks.
Here comes power.
Now watch when he strikes.
Pure power.
All the power is forward. The power is forward, and it results in this break. Look at this. Boom, boom. Raise off me, the balls were saying when he hits them. He said, let up on me.
Wow, look at high balls. High balls are a very good choice right now, particularly when you look at the layout in the position of the cue ball in relation to the 9. Take a look at the balls right here.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Now, wait a minute.
We got the 9, 10, 11.
They're all there.
Right here.
It's got a combination here right now. 15
cue
to the 11.
9 ball opens up everything.
Well, why not shoot the 15?
9 ball, boom, hits the 15.
He's going to hit the 15
everything's
back.
open.
I got it.
Everything's open.
That's it. Bingo.
Okay, everything's open here. Now the 10 ball, the cue ball is positioned against may be a problem ball. Okay, and he better think about taking care of it real quick. And one way he can take care of it is shoot it up the other corner by just softly shooting 11, playing position for the 10 at the other corner, which opens up the side pocket for the 15 or the corner pocket for the 15. So therefore, he can take care of both the 10 and the 15.
Okay. It's a three-way shot.
It's very softly here.
Well, for the viewers at home, one way to look at this, he came back.
That's even better because now the shot plays more simple.
Sure. Well, I don't think you had the benefit of actually being able to see the angle well enough to analyze that one there, William.
I like saving the 13 for the key ball, not the 15, because there's the 5 balls adjacent to the 15 and it may create a problem for him playing position for the 8. The 15 is a very deceiving ball, even though it's on the same side of the table that the 8 is. It's a very deceiving ball because he has some resistance in the 5 position next to it. Play the position for the 10, then the 15, then play the position for the 14, and use the 13 as the key ball.
Okay.
No, he would fare much better if he got close to his work on the 14, because he would like to attain the angle on the 13 where the 6 is. And this is the angle that he wants.
Yeah, show me on the telestrator.
Okay, the angle that he wants here, this is the 13 here. The angle that he wants on the 13 is right here.
Okay.
Right there. That way he can make the 13 and come this way here.
Drop behind the balls. Drop shot. What's this? See, he's going to do it just a little different. He's going to cut the 14 in and bump the 1 and end up in a perfect angle to drop down.
Okay, the option that he has right here isn't a bad option if he has a problem dealing with position on the 13, is playing the combination 13 into the 14, okay? Now he'll have a much easier ball to get down with 8.
He's looking at that, and it looks like that is the option he's going to take here. I'm not wild about that shot.
Oh, the 13's not going to travel at all. You know, see how nicely he did that? Now he can go in front of the 7, like here.
Well, he's going to try and hit the diamond here, right where you
That's the way
illustrated
he can go
it.
now. Yeah, he can go that way now.
Is that the correct word? You illustrated that, or you telestrated it?
Whatever I did it right. Okay. And so did he.
Thank you.
This is game number 6?
5.
5? No, 6. 3 games apiece. Are we waiting for a score?
Game number 7. Here, get the one.
7-4-3? No, game number 6, I think.
Mr. Bustamante wins game number 7 after 7 games. The score is Mr. Reyes 4, Mr. Bustamante 3. Mr. Reyes will be breaking in game number 8.
I also have a problem in addition.
I was going to say when I got over 10, I could see the problem, but you still got 10 digits. I can't figure this out. I think that some technical innovations on Accu-Stats' behalf would be to put the score up there on the screen for guys like me and you that haven't taken remedial mathematics.
Oh, a lot of power there for a little man. But not enough. Not enough. It's amazing that as well as he struck the balls there, he came out dry.
Nothing but noise, is
but
the saying.
Bustamante very, very rarely comes up dry. Significant difference.
Yeah, there's no question about it.
This is an excellent opportunity for Bustamante to get right back into the thick of this match. If he's able to get out here, he'll tie up the match of 4 games apiece, and he will have the benefit of the additional or the extra break.
That's correct. That's correct. Well, under these rules with the open break required, you must break with force, and the discretion of the tournament director, nobody's in jeopardy of violating that rule so far tonight.
Okay, naturally the 3 and the 7 are semi-tied up. They do go in the upper right-hand corner pocket and also the left side pocket. If he's positioning the cue ball on a line with the 6 to follow right through and play position for the 3 in the upper right-hand corner, that's a good shot. Now he's looking to see if he can draw the cue ball back, playing position for the 3 in the side. There's other ways he can do that. He can play the 2, then he can play the 1, and then play position for the 3 in the side. That opens up the rack much more easily.
Okay.
See, he really they don't have to do anything spectacular. Everything's natural that way.
Gotcha.
Play the 2, play the 1 with a high ball, and you just fall for either the 7 or the 3 in the side pocket. And if he can accomplish that, then the rack will be totally open.
I don't think he got where he wanted there.
He's got an angle. He's going to have to follow it a little bit here. 2 cushions, but more of an angle would have probably been better because he may end up too high on the 3 by going 2 cushions. He wanted a little more of a crisp angle where he would cut it more. Let's see if he forces it or what he does with it here. He forced it.
See, I like the way he strikes the ball with that force. It reminds me a lot of the way Jose Perica plays.
Okay. Keep this in mind. Anytime you shoot a shot with the stroke that he just shot that shot with, you lose a little bit of control. Had he left himself a thinner angle, it's all feel. It's much easier to judge. But in spite of that, nevertheless, he's still going to run out, it looks like to me,
Well, he's got to just navigate down to the 4 somewhere.
I like for him to get to the 4 in his next shot.
Yeah. And then that resolves all the issues if he gets on the 4 with an angle to get on the 6. He's going to use the 6. This isn't a bad option.
This is good as well.
Yeah.
Okay. He just has to have the angle where he doesn't have to go down table all the way.
He's got a sweet spot on the 6. He just hits the ball full. See, he's using the snooker technique of stunning the ball, as it's called. Okay. Stun the ball forward, and I'll tell you, their control's phenomenal with that shot.
This is game number 8, and after he pockets the 8, the match will be tied up at 4 games apiece. And a very well played match by both players.
Mr. Bustamante wins game number 8. After 8 games, the match is tied at 4.
Well, this is the kind of a match we expected to see, Tony. We didn't really expect either player to run away with it.
Breaking in game number 9.
It's Bustamante's power against Reyes' finesse, and that's exactly what we're seeing here. And I'll tell you what, I'm being thoroughly entertained with it.
Oh yeah, it's a great match. Great match. I think Bustamante really has a presence at the table as far as his presence. I think the way he dresses, his logos, the way they're presented for his sponsors and things. I just think he makes a good presentation. While he plays.
He's got a lot of style about himself. A very classy man. A lot of style, and his presence at the table is really, awesome. He's a very respected player, and he deserves to be a respected player because he plays about as well as you can play. He's got a lot of power. He never complains. He's a gentleman. And he's just a great player and a very, very good person.
You know, he got some tough luck there. He broke the balls extremely well, and the cue ball was parked in the center vicinity of the table. And out of the right field, there a ball came and knocked him over.
I kind of like low balls here.
But what does he start with?
Well, he's got the 5 in the upper corner. I wouldn't shoot the 4 if I took the low balls, because the 4 is a good ball to alleviate the problem with the 3. So I wouldn't shoot the 4. I'd think a little bit more about shooting. I'd wait a little while and think about shooting the 4. I'd shoot the 5 if I could and follow the cue ball. Before I'd shoot the 4, I'd take the high balls. He missed it, huh? Oh.
Tough shot. There goes that pro cut.
Yeah. He didn't miss it by much, but you don't have to miss by much with the pro cut, like Tony alluded to.
That's correct. That's correct.
Okay, I'm very interested to see what balls Reyes take, because the table is still open, by the way. He can take low balls because he has the 4 ball in position to alleviate the problem with the 3. But he's got to do it, right away, because he needs an insurance ball, because there's no guarantee he'll come up with a shot on the 3.
You're right.
But he doesn't have the luxury of doing it on his shot. So therefore, what does he do? Go with the high ball? High balls create a little bit of a problem, too, because the 15 at the other end of the table obviously does not go in the upper right-hand corner. Scott Smith might be able to tell us if it goes in the upper left-hand corner, the 15, that is.
I'm going to bet he tells us it does.
Okay, the 15 does go in the upper left-hand corner, which makes the high balls a much better choice at this time. I think he's going to take the high balls. Only because if he shoots the 5, then he'll have to play position for the 4 to knock the 3 out.
Gotcha.
And he may not like that, so I think he's going to opt to take the high balls. He's looking at the 9-13 now. He's saying to himself, quite possibly, what type of a favorite am I to make the 9-13, and when do I attack it? I'm going to take the high ball. Slide up. I'm going to shoot the 14. No, it looks like he's going for the 4. I don't... Oh, he's going to play the 3 off the 4. I didn't even realize that was available.
Yeah, he's going to try for that shot. There you go.
He did that a little while ago, and I forgot about it.
The magician.
And I'll tell you what, he's a tricky guy. And I'm a slow learner.
I'm not touching that one, Billy.
That shot was available. I didn't see it.
You didn't see it?
And, up here, I just play about as flawlessly as one can play.
I've noticed you haven't missed a ball since we started commentating this week.
Well, that's not true, Tony. You're being overly generous, and I'm not going to accept that.
Well, you scared Scott Smith off.
Wow, that ball jumped off that side cushion.
Did. Too much stroke, too smooth.
No, it just jumped off that side cushion. What happened? I mean...
Too smooth. He hit the... Well, I'll tell you what the part of the problem was there. The ball was so deep. The 5 ball was so deep, he couldn't hit the rail where he wanted to. And there was a less ball hitting the rail than he anticipated on.
No English. Center ball.
Nice shot.
Shoot the 4 ball. Cross table. End up where he is right now. That's where he wants to be. I like shooting the 4 ball here. Setting the cue ball cross table. In the approximate area where he is now. But it looks like he's drawing it. Well, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. If he has a slight angle favoring a cut to the right, he's going to work close to the 8. Matter of fact, the angle was so severe that he couldn't play the 8 in this position for the 8 in the side.
Okay, yeah. Well, there's a lot of stripes running together over there between the 8 and the 10. Okay, hopefully it doesn't get distracted.
Yeah, right.
Good shot. Good shot.
I tell you, he's a tricky guy. He's a tricky guy.
Well, I certainly didn't go out on a limb picking Efren Reyes to win this match.
He leads the match 5 games to 4.
The old saying
Reyes will be
was, I'm not going to get arrested for gambling on that proposition.
No. I'll tell you, of all the matches I've watched Efren play in this particular round-robin event, this is by far, I feel, the best match he's played. I think he's performing extremely well in this match. He's doing what he wants to do. He's made a few errors here and there, but with his resiliency, he's shown that he can just recover quickly.
Well, William, if you get an opportunity to interview either one of these players, a question I'd like answered is just how many times you two played each other, not only in tournament settings, but since the time you've grown up.
Oh, him and Bustamante?
Oh, they must have played 1,000 times. I can imagine they played every day in the pool room in Manila.
Now, the last time Reyes broke the balls, he came out dry. And he did hit them well.
Well, he's repositioning the cue ball now. They're checking. You know, we are playing base of the ball. Where the ball touches the table, it has to be behind the line. So we are looking at that right now to qualify the shot.
Oh, he hit him solid. I mean, he hit him solid. And once again, he's not going to make a ball on the break.
Stiff.
Once again. See, this is very difficult to overcome when you're playing an opponent like Bustamante, who very, very rarely does this.
On top of that, you're playing rotate break. So Efren is guaranteed so many breaks, and Bustamante is guaranteed so many breaks. Fortunately for both of them, we've got a very tight match, and it isn't like somebody's trying to overcome a big deficit yet.
But what Efren does have going for him in this particular game is that there's some congestion on the table, both on the foot end of the table and the head end of the table. Now, on the foot end of the table, there's more congestion, and it's much more severe. And I'll point it out to you, okay?
All right.
The 7 and the 9 right here, okay? There's congestion there. I do believe the 9 can be pocketed, but you have to position the cue ball just about perfectly to do that. Also, the 5 and the 12 ball. The 12 ball can be pocketed, but the 5 cannot. So therefore, low balls on this end of the table is really not something you want to shoot.
Okay.
Low balls are at a disadvantage, particularly on this end of the table. And you do not have other low balls around the problem to deal with the low ball problem on this end of the table. So high balls should be his choice. But look at all the low balls in front of the 10 ball on the other end of the table. Let's think this over once again.
Okay, let's go through it again. Yeah.
What do? I take a high ball.
Well, using your technique, okay, if you look at working back from the 8 ball, if he takes the high balls, what's the sequence of shots?
Before I try running out, I first decide, I take a look, can I pocket the 10 or can't I pocket the 10?
Well, he obviously thinks that he can get position on the 10 in a manner to make the 10 follow the 2 ball in.
No, I wouldn't say he could do that. No.
Well, then what's he going to do?
He may be doing something now.
Break him now.
You know?
Well, he missed.
Well, I'll tell you what I would do then. I would play the 10-7 combination now. I would make it very
10-2?
Yeah. I would play a 10-2 combination now.
And freeze him on the 6.
I would try to make both balls.
Yeah, well, it's...
But I would make sure that I got the 10 in the pocket by hitting it accurately. Okay, he made both balls. But it looks like he's going to run out here because he's got a good lead ball in the 14. I don't know what kind of an angle he's left himself on the 11, but I would have tried to play a little bit better position.
Well, I think he's got a perfect angle. I think he's got a perfect angle to get on the 12 and then take the 9 and spin out on the 14.
Okay. See, the angle that he really wanted was an angle to drop nicely for the 14.
Okay.
Over this way, okay? Then he can go down and take the 9 and then come up here and take the 12. But the shot you saw was cut the 11 in and then drift down this way for the 12.
It's a natural angle.
Yeah, it's a natural angle, but it's a critical one, too, because if he doesn't get really exact on it, he'll lose his market for playing position on the 9.
Well, the angle he's going to crash into the 9.
I think that a lot of these solutions playing 8 ball where the balls are tied up require execution that these players are capable of. And if to point out, you think I'm an optimist, I'm going to admit I am. No, I have a lot of confidence in their ability to do this.
Yeah, it's hard for him to do that. It's very difficult.
Well, Scott called the right shot. He ran into the 9. And look at this. He got rewarded greatly for that effort.
Okay, now this shot here has to be executed with a lot of inside English, hitting the 9 ball thinly. He doesn't want to contact the 7 here. Because if he hits the 7, it could create problems for him. You know, I'm surprised to see him hit that shot as poorly as he did, and he didn't have to cheat the pocket on that side. If anything, the other side of the pocket was a better side. It would send the cue ball closer to the 14.
Well, the term critical shot comes to mind right here.
It certainly is, and he can't afford to falter here, you know. He's made a nice run out up to this point. This is a very, very big shot.
Yes. See, this is what I'm talking about, you know, and I've seen this in his play, this event, is that he makes all the shots, he gets to the critical juncture, and he's just leaving himself just a little bit bad, and he, you know, with his aggressive nature, he goes for the shot, and he makes a critical error.
The shot that preceded the miss was the shot that had me curious,
Okay.
you know, because he hit the outside of the pocket, favoring the upside of the pocket, which is definitely was the wrong side of the pocket to hit, simply because it sent the cue ball away from the 14, the 10,
Okay.
or the
I
14,
gotcha.
whatever it was. Had he hit the other side of the pocket, the cue ball would have been closer to his next ball, which leads me to believe he really lost some concentration there, you know. The intensity was gone for some reason.
I think when he shot the 12 ball, that the ball rolled out a little bit.
And when he shot before he shot the 14, I felt that he may have a problem with that shot.
Okay.
And that's why I said he can't afford to falter here. You know, he's come all this way and he's made a good run up to this point. I felt there was a chance of him faltering there because of the way he hit the ball that preceded that shot. You know, the door is really wide for Reyes now. You know, he's leading 5-4 in this match. He's looking to extend it to 6-4. Bustamante really had the upper hand had he run out there. It would have been 5 games apiece, and he would have been at the table breaking the balls.
Okay.
He's going to stay on this side of the table when he goes down. Watch out.
Hey, it looks like he was going to get a little possible freezer job on the 1 ball. That would have been fatal. Of course, the way he kicks the balls, he would have just kicked the 6 and played position.
A little more of an angle than he wanted.
Yeah, he didn't like that angle there. He fell a little short. Short. Short will get you.
You know, I'll tell you what's natural. He probably won't do it, but this is natural. Sending the cue ball here, and here. That's natural.
Okay.
You know, it looks a little haphazard, but nevertheless, it's natural.
Gotcha.
And he's a 3-cushion player, and he'll probably see it. I don't know if he'll shoot that shot, but it's there.
Well, we saw that phenomenal play he made his last match where he went 4 rails around the table
it's there, you see?
and landed. See, it's a natural shot.
Right.
I can tell you, I've had the benefit to watch a lot of good billiards
He
plays.
just hit it too hard, okay, but it was there.
I think he didn't hit it hard enough.
No, he played position for the side. He played position for the 8 in the side. It was just a natural angle.
It's on our list of questions. I think that he might have been coming around to go in the center of the table because it was a natural shot to go right to the center of the table.
Whatever.
This is what he does really well, boy. He comes with the fine cut shots with slow speed, drags the cue ball.
Reyes, a very intelligent player, will also play at the defensive side of the shot as well. He will reposition the cue ball close to the bottom cushion. In the event that he misses the 8, his opponent won't like his shot very much.
Well, Bustamante got a little reprieve here, but he's going to have to come with a shot to take advantage of it.
That's exactly right. And I'm going to tell you the truth. I make Bustamante even money to make this shot. This shot is much more difficult than the shot he missed.
Well, I'm taking that.
But
I'm taking even money. I'm taking even money.
Of course, anybody would, but trust me, he'll make this ball.
Pretty good call, William.
He will make that ball.
Pretty good call.
Because there's no pressure on that shot.
Yeah.
No pressure on that shot.
No question. You got to swing.
You don't figure to make it. The other one he figured to make it, and he just let himself down.
Yeah, good
That
call.
one, no pressure. Great shot maker. Split the pocket.
Excellent call. And, we got a
Time out,
reprieve.
Mr. Bustamante. Mr. Bustamante wins game number 10 after 10 games. The match is tied at 5. We'll take a 5-minute break. We'll be right back.
Okay, they're going to take a 5-minute break. We're going to change tapes, and we'll be right back. Bustamante preparing to open up the balls in game number 11. The score is not enough at 5 games apiece.
What a match.
Action-packed.
What a match.
Action-packed match. Oh, wow. I mean, once again, illustrating the amount of power that he has.
And look at this. Dry, to use your expression.
That is a rarity. He is really surprised to see that.
I don't think he contacted the one as square as he's been contacting. He still had the same power and velocity, but he didn't contact the one as full as he had.
Let's take a look at the 8 ball. Okay, the 6 and the 2 and the 9 are around the 8. The 8 ball is encompassed by the 6, 9, and 2. Obviously, the lower balls have the advantage in that particular pattern. Okay? There are 4 large balls grouped in the center of the table. The 5 and the 15 at the other end of the table.
Okay.
Okay, it looks like to me that the low balls are a slight advantage here. He's trying to figure out how to run out. I think what he's going to do is he's going to try to run out from here. He's going to play the 4 into the 3. Oh, he's taking the high balls. This is surprising. This is really surprising. He's taking the high balls here.
Well, he must think he can get back up on top behind those balls and pocket them all and get out. But I don't understand.
Well, the 9 ball is the problem ball.
The 9's really a problem.
You know, I'm surprised he took the high balls.
I think Bustamante had some strategy that was in place on that break. You know, he got a lucky reprieve to get another shot. Efren had missed. He comes with a big shot off the end rail, which you predicted he would make, and won the game. And now he's charged Efren. Plus, he says, "Hey, you know what? I'm going to give him 5 minutes to think about what happened." Do you understand, Billy, what I'm saying? In other words, he iced him.
I got it.
I don't know why he took the high balls. I'm still confused about this.
Well, it will develop, and it will become crystal clear why as Mr. Reyes approached this run out. Well, this is puzzling. I'm looking for some kind of kiss shot or billiard shot or something that he keeps showing us. Is he banking this ball? No, oh, the 11 goes. Okay, look at that. Well, the 9 must go in the corner. Maybe we could get Scott Smith to just mosey around the table here and give us a peek. Now you're going to see him go right down and try and play position on the 9 immediately.
I'm really confused. The 9 has to go.
Take a look. See the 9 there, Billy, on the monitor to your left? Now, see, he's gone directly down there. He had the advantage of knowing that if he made a mistake on the speed, he could play the 15 to try and recover. Now he's going to bump the 6 out. He's on the 15. He's out.
But he got absolutely perfect.
Well, that's Efren Reyes. We're not talking about little Lulu here.
Yeah, you're not kidding. You know, he made that look simple, but you know that wasn't simple by any means. It was very, very difficult to reposition the cue ball in the area that he ended up in.
Well, I personally agree with playing an aggressive strategy that blends into your strengths as a player. I mean, he has the strength of execution on his side. He executes this guy. Boy, look at this shot. This is interesting. How about that?
Well, when he went down to shoot the 9 ball, he had a two-way shot. He could have either had the 9 or the 15 if he didn't get perfect.
Exactly. Exactly what we were saying, William. Scott has pointed out to us once again that he did have an open shot on that 9, and he was also had the advantage of a two-way shot to be able to use the 15 if he did get out of line. Now, he had a match earlier where he actually missed this 8 ball, very similar position, so let's see if he cinches this. Look at this. He elected not to shoot it in the side. He went in the corner.
Well, I'll tell you,
Reyes wins game number 11 after 11 games. The score is Mr. Reyes 6, Mr. Bustamante 5. Mr. Reyes breaks in game number 12.
You know, I can really, really appreciate the skills that he's developed throughout the years as he exhibits them here playing 8-ball, because the speed of the cue ball is so important playing 8-ball, and he just makes it look so easy. You know, and there are positions that it's so crucial that you end up in. If you don't, you lose. If you do, you win. And he consistently wins and wins and wins because he's able to attain the, the position that he needs, but just about all the time. And that particular rack was no different. You know, he fell on that 9 as perfectly as you could fall on a ball, and that's about what it was going to take. And he did it with confidence because he bet that he could do that, and he just immediately took the high balls with the confidence that he could do it.
Look at this break! Holy mackerel!
Pocketing 4 balls, but I don't even know if he has a shot. He has a shot in the 15. But the low balls seem to be the better balls because of the 2-ball. The 2-ball is positioned next to the 8, where he can break out the 8.
Well, I think that if he's in improper, if he has to take the 15 now, that's a problem to take the high balls. But it looks like he can also make the 13 now. He could play position back into those balls, or he could leave the 15 and play an angle later on to break them up and knock the 14 towards the hole.
Okay, the dilemma with taking the high balls is that, yeah, you have an easier shot in the 15 or even the 13, but you only have 4 high balls on the table to work with to regain a position on the table to deal with the 8. You know, you have much more options with the lower balls. See, he's got more options with the lower balls, meaning that, you know, he has more time to deal with the 2-8 situation because of all the extra balls that he has. He can be more creative, and he's the most creative player in the world. No question about that. And giving him more balls to create with is only going to be, you know, an extra weapon for that he's going to have. He would like to have about 9 more slow balls to deal with right now. He's probably going to try to float down table, gaining a shot on the 2 possibly to break the 8 free. Now, this is going to take excellent speed of the cue ball if he opts to do this.
Well, can he see the 5 to shoot the 5 in the corner right now?
That's what I'm saying, the 5 ball. But look, he's looking at the 3. So evidently he doesn't like it.
So you're saying he's going to go 5?
Well, I'm thinking he was going to go 5-2.
I don't understand that shot. Oh, you know what he's doing? I mean, it appears to me. Yeah, it appears to me that he's going to play the 3 and then shoot the 7 down in this corner so he can follow straight to it.
I don't think so.
Oh, he had the angle to draw. I couldn't see the angle.
Okay, if he can end up where he is now, then he'll shoot the 2 in the lower right-hand corner with a soft speed. And
well, he's going to flatten the cue ball out here is what he's going to do.
He's going to try to shoot the 2 in the lower right-hand corner with a soft speed and hopes to gain a position on the 8 for either the right-hand side or the upper right-hand corner.
Well, that ball came too far towards the center of the table. I think he's not satisfied with it.
Yeah, he's ended up in a pretty tough position now because he's laying rather thin on the 2 ball, and as thin as he is on the 2 ball, he's going to have big problems controlling the speed of the cue ball here.
I think he's got to try and cut this 2 ball in and bump into the 13 and stop there and take the tougher angle in the side.
I don't know if he can do that.
Yeah, he can do it.
Well, Scott's looking at the angle for us, and
he'll
he's
just spin and stay below the 8. I don't think he even needs to go to the 13.
Well, it didn't make it easy, that's for sure, and that's a big critical error there.
Yeah, well, I don't know. You know, but I'm not going to argue with anything that he does. I mean, I should have learned by now not to do that, and I think I have. Stubborn as I am, I think I have.
Well, I think that what he should have done, or what he could have done, I don't know what the reasoning why he didn't, was just cut the ball with flat ball and bump into the 13 and kill the cue ball. And it would simplify the shot.
You know, had he executed the shot the way he wanted to, he would have hit the 2 ball a little more thicker than he ended up hitting it. Therefore, the cue ball would have not have gone into the 8. It would have stayed behind the 8 and away from the 8 far enough to have a shot in the side. The execution of the shot is what where he faltered, not his reasoning with it. It was the execution of it.
Ooh, boy, that was close.
Yeah.
He almost ran right into the 8.
He's going to hit the 8 here, though. It looks like he's going to take an advantage in the match 6-5, but I do believe that's going to be the correct score. Is that right?
I believe that's correct.
Or is it 6-5 already? It'll be 6-6, okay.
Yes. Boy, there was no reason to even get anywhere near that.
Bustamante wins game number 12. After 12 games, the score is Mr. Bustamante 6, Mr. Reyes 6. Mr. Bustamante breaks in game number 13.
You know, as you mentioned when we started, Willie, this is a 6-player event. On hand also is a very competent alternate, Mauro Paez, who's from the Los Angeles area, well-known player, and a terrific 8-ball player, by the way.
Oh, yeah, you don't have to say that to me. I know how well he plays 8-ball. He's an excellent 8-ball player who has a very big break, and he's certainly a good choice for the alternate. But I don't think any of the players are going to be faltering or...
I don't think anybody's calling in sick in this match, in this adventure. And I want to mention also that well, that was a...
Foul, scratching the break is cue ball in hand anywhere on the table for Mr. Reyes. No ball spot.
Barring an unforced error by Efren, this is going to give him commanding control of this match because he's got ball in hand. The table is somewhat clear, although there is traffic down here in the corner. And if he does run out, he'll be breaking next game.
Interesting situation here. The 3 and the 6 seem to be tied up. Is that correct, Pat? Scott? Are the 3 and the 6 tied up, or does the 3-6 combination look available?
Combination might go. He's got to clear out the 1.
Okay, but if the combination goes, then he should play the 5 first, if he takes the low balls. If the combination is available, then what he should do is...
Well, let's look at your telestrator for just a moment. I've got my little swizzle stick here, so I don't want to hear any static from you, okay? Okay, if he takes ball in hand over in this area, comes over, bumps the 5 out, he's on these balls. Now he's cleared the traffic there. It's simply a matter of negotiating the high balls up here, although the 11 is some trouble with the 1 in the way.
Yeah, that's too much trouble with the 11. There's no other balls around the 11, to help him with that particular ball. I think the low balls is the choice here, providing that the 3-6 is lined up reasonably well.
Well, having the situation in this rules format, all the balls are neutral here. And in this opening shot with nothing made, he could even use the 8-ball, the combination, one of the balls if he wanted to.
Look what he's done. He's positioned the cue ball where he's going to shoot the 11. And take the high balls. And he's going to go down table and position the cue ball for the 13, possibly to go into the 5. So he's got the cue ball in hand, which will enable him to play position on the 13.
Yep, good call. He needs a little bounce.
No, he doesn't need a little bounce. He needs a little bounce, or a lot of a bounce.
Yeah, that's when I said a little bounce. I could see he wasn't going to stay at an angle there. It had to come out further for him to have the angle he wanted.
Okay, he can play the 12 or the 10 into the 12.
He's got an angle enough where he can jam the 13 and shake up the 5, I think.
Perfect. Yeah. Look at this. He held the position on the 10, so he could make the 12, which is what you called for, and he also held the position on the 15.
Now, this is very tricky if he opts to shoot the 10 up the corner where the 12 is, because he has to be able to control the lead ball, the 10 ball, after pocketing the 12.
Well, why not? Let's see. Well, see, this is what I like. I like shoot the 10 now. Give yourself a shot at the 15. Then if the 10 doesn't control as well, you've still got some maneuverability to get back to it.
If he loses control of the 10 and he pockets the 12, and we'll say the 10 goes to the right of the 12 about 6 to 7 inches, then he'll have to use the bridge on the 15 to get back up table, or else shoot it with his opposite hand if he can reach it. And that's going to be a problem.
I think he's going to save the 10 for the cue ball.
But what he could do here is he could possibly. Does the 10 pass the 5 into the corner pocket? There's not much room there. I don't think he's going to be saving the 10.
I think the proper shot is to shoot the 10 into the 12, hold the 15, come back up, and maneuver around. But it looks like he's going to go the way Scott had pointed out. He's going to. I don't know. He's going. He wants that 10 into the 12.
Okay, now he's left himself the angle, Tony. The cue ball will then depart from the 10 ball and go to the right. If the 10 ball escapes the vicinity of where the 12 is, he'll be in line to pocket it because he'll be going to the right with it.
And if it follows it in, he'll have a good enough angle on the 8.
See? So he's always one step ahead of everyone.
One shot ahead. Or 3 or 4 shots ahead.
See? And after he finishes this run out, if he does, we're going to be changing the tape. Right now the score is 6-5. Or 6
No, it's 6-all right
6
now.
all.
And we're going to be 7-6, and Reyes breaking. How big was that scratch on the break by Francisco?
We'll be back in a moment.
Mr. Reyes wins game number 13 after 13 games. The score is Mr. Reyes 7, Mr. Bustamante 6. This is a race to 8. Mr. Reyes.
Okay, we're back here, and the score is 7-6 in favor of Reyes. If he's able to break the balls and run out, he'll then capture this match and still be in contention to win the tournament. Now, the loser of this particular match will no longer be in contention to win this round-robin event because you cannot win the round-robin event with 2 losses, and both of these players do have a loss.
Is there no possibility to tie with 2 losses?
No, there's not going to be a tie with 2. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of ties with 2 losses.
Griffiths could lose his next 2 matches. It could end up. Everybody could end up 3-2.
Now, there's going to be a lot of ties with 2 losses.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's going to happen because in order
You're
for
saying
that
somebody's going to either go undefeated or have 1 loss.
I don't think it's going to happen.
Griffith's record is now 3-0. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think Griffiths is going to be in the finals, or he's going to be in the contention to win the tournament for sure.
Well, Frank told me earlier he's going to play the spoiler tonight.
It looks like that the high balls are the better of the balls, maybe. Then again, when I see the 7 and the 5, maybe not, because the 2 that's tied up behind the 12 or whatever, or the 14, can be dealt with one of the with one of the low balls, the 7 or the 5, easily.
Yeah, he could deal with it right now, actually, if he wanted to. Be tough, but.
How would you like to put some sort of a mic inside his brain? Really, and just to hear what he's saying to himself.
Well, the only problem we're going to have is we're going to need it to translate from Tagalog to English.
If I would ask him this question, okay, and him and I are very friendly. You know, I play him a lot. We kid a lot. You know, we have a real good rapport.
Everybody should have one friend in life.
You can be replaced. You know that.
Don't worry.
Anyways, if I was to ask him, Reyes, when you're at the table, would you mind if just the 2 of us were in the room? Would you mind if you would think out loud? Whatever you're thinking, just talk. You know what he would giggle to me? He would giggle to me and would say, "I don't think at the table. I just play," or something like that. He would never tell me what he would be thinking about. You know what I mean? Isn't that selfish?
I think it is selfish.
It certainly is. He doesn't want to give up the recipe, huh?
Well, you know, I keep asking. I've asked now 4 or 5 of the good Filipino players. Is there a guru over there, a Yoda, so to speak, in Manila that teaches these guys how to play? Say, no, we just play. We just play, that's all. We just play. And you know what? I don't believe a word of it. I believe there's some Zen master over there that's cloning these guys.
Well, what I believe is you're looking at the Zen master right now.
It's a good possibility.
Okay? That's what I believe. And if you can prove otherwise, you let me know.
Well, I think we need to take a little expedition to Manila. I think that'd be a good field trip for Accu-Stats.
All expenses paid. Yeah, all right.
Hey, listen, Fleming has an unlimited budget for these things.
Now you're talking.
If he can negotiate that truck over the ocean to Manila, he could get a lot of sponsors.
No, he's in line now. He'll just pocket the 5, bump the 14 here. Look.
Okay.
He's out now.
No, you know what? I've gotten to the point where I'm getting bored watching the guy. It's almost a foregone conclusion he's going to run out when he gets in these situations.
Okay, Scott, if you can continue on, thank you very much. And right to your room.
Now, wait a minute. I charged admission. I've got 200-300 spectators lined up to watch you two battle it out tonight over there on the bar table. And they're going to be very disappointed. They're going to be looking for my hide.
Mm-hmm. He'll attain an angle on the 3 ball to cut it to his left, which will then send the cue ball to his right in position for the 2. And it looks like that with a few more strokes of the cue, we're going to be looking at the winner.
Well, the stroke,
this particular match.
You know, Willie, the stroke of the cue that predicted the winner of this match is when Francisco Bustamante broke on a game.
He got a little flat on the 3 ball.
Yeah, the game prior to this, when Francisco Bustamante broke and scratched, that was the match.
You know what he's going to have to do? He's going to probably either have to draw this back. I don't know. Is he going to force it in front of the 10? It's going to take a perfect hit for him to do this. And that's what it did. That's what he did. He forced it in front of the 10. And with the speed that he had to shoot that shot with to do what he wanted to do, it took a perfect hit. Any part of the rail, he wouldn't have gotten the ball. No carelessness here. It looks like this is match ball for Reyes.
Now, what does that make reference record now? Is that
winner Efren Reyes? Can we have a hand, please, for Efren Reyes and Francisco Bustamante?
You know, when you look and really look at the way
we've got about 20 minutes till our next match. It'll feature Troy Frank and undefeated Roger Griffiths.